Okay guys, so 2022, just pulled my Mini out of the garage, giving it a good wash, and here we are. Just thought I'd do a bit of an update. Been toying backwards and forwards on what to do with my Mini, and nearly did sell it the other day. To be fair, somebody offered me some very sensible money for the car. But yeah, got a 1330 engine in here, 11 stud cylinder head, which is just here. It's kind of ported and polished. We've got this engine steady bar just there, 4-core radiator, race starter motor, electronic ignition. Put the breather system on the car just here as well, and that breathes into a catchment tank which is in the inner wing. Kind of emulate the NDAF Owen kind of system, but I've got the inner wings on here. Weather today's pretty bleak, to be brutally honest. That's why I poured it out and gave it a wash. As you can see, it's all lovely and clean and shiny, clean underneath the bonnet. I did get a little bit of breather from the top of the oil filler cap. The engine does breathe quite heavily, hence why I've got a lot of breather on it. Obviously, onto the halo headlights, which I had installed, much better for night driving. That beautiful carbon weasel carbon on the car for the wheel arches and bumpers. I am looking to get the Mark 1 grille and headlamp surrounds, but lower valance, all very, very clean and shiny. And if we climb underneath here, we've got the CAD 4 pot calipers, Hell hoses, AVO adjustable shocks. As you can see, it's still a little bit wet. Very clean, very tidy underneath here. But yeah, it's kind of like giving it a very good clean, getting ready for the summer ahead. Those nylon bushes as well on those front tie arms as well. Do love the look of my car. I do love the single stud wheels on there, and those wheels are from Force Racing, and that carbon just looks awesome. I could do with cutting those wheel arches out a little bit more, to be brutally honest, but I've got some further plans hopefully for the Mini, subject to cost. But yeah, like I say, single stud Force Racing alloys. As you can see, the inner wings there, these are all original, and I do need to make sure, or if I do anything with that, I get those replaced at some point in the future, but that is quite a big job. So open up the passenger door, got that carbon weasel, and as you can see, the doors are brand new, and they were all wax sold many years ago, 15 years ago, when I had the car painted. I've got adjustable high-lows there, obviously a negative camber. Got the clear perspex or clear PPF there on the front edge of the rear wheel arch to stop any chipping on that beautiful carbon. And I love to get those wheel arches tubbed. There we go, there's those Force Racing alloys again. With those beautiful Yokohama tyres. Got little toe highs there, just there if I ever were to put it into a ditch. Maniflow full system with rear silencer box, rolled lip tip to the end there, carbon there, DSN door or boot hinges, Mark 1 rear light conversion, and a kind of one of those flip up fuel caps. Again, I've had that for donkey jonks. But yeah, all in all, very clean car. Not really any rust on the car whatsoever. There's a few little niggles which I do know about. If we have a look inside the boot, we've got the oversized fuel tank. I did modify and make a bracket to mount that with a spare wheel. And about 20 years ago, we did a replacement on the boot floor. Now, this car's been in my family for a good part of 25, 30 years. At least 30 years, if not longer than that, to be fair. I bought it when I was 15/16. All original wheel arch, inner quarter panels there. Obviously, it did have a speaker sound system at some point. I did paint inside the boot at some stage and did redo all the wiring. I wonder where that bolt had gone. I was looking for that the other day. But yeah, put the boot seal on the actual car itself opposed to the boot. But as you can see, it's all very clean and shiny in here. Cleaned up all that inner edge and made sure that those wire ties, I've got shrink wrap on. And just trying to keep it clean and tidy. Fuel pumps mounted on the inner side of the boot as well. And I've got that battery kill-off switch just in the rear boot again. Added security. And I've got carbon weasel rear number plate light cover, as you can see there. Bit of a Speedwell badge. I know it's not a Speedwell, bit of a cop-out, but I do love that badge. Underside of the car again, painted 15 plus so years ago. Waxall's looking a little bit black and grubby, but it's done its job. Battery box could do with a little bit of a paint, but nothing too bad at all. Nice and solid, which is at the end of the day is what you need. Again, there's Force Racing wheels, single nut conversion. I do love them. They are awesome. Mini fins on the back. Again, obviously negative camber. had all the brakes and wheel cylinders done and brake lines done many years ago. I've got a slight little, I suppose, whisper underneath the paint just there, a little chip on the boot, which I caused a long time ago. But other than that, very, very clean around the window seals. I do blow it off with an airline every time I wash it. I've got this awesome, obviously, seamless paint job on the roof, which is a checker, and it's nicely lacquered. Sadly, I did have an aerial put on the roof because it did have a sound system in it once upon a time, or a long time ago. So that was there to stay. As you can see, the roll cage is bolted through the base of the sill panel there, but very, very clean. Original sills, would you believe? So it's never had a sill replacement on the car. It has some patch panels years and years ago when that was kind of the in thing to do before concoursing it all. And as you can see up through there, it is all nice, straight and tidy. So it's a very honest car, to be honest. Very original. Has had 2 new front wings and new front panel at some stage. Obviously a new bonnet. But all the actual shut lines there are absolutely pristine. Windows, sills are all good. Edge of the roof's all good. Again, no rust in those seams where the wings mount onto the inner wings, because those inner wings are all original. Looking very, very good. And again, that's the same on the near side, so passenger side as well. And again, the wipers and the top scuttle panel and where the roof mounts is all very, very good. I would like to delete the additional wiper holes, but unfortunately that does entail a fair bit of work and additional paint, which is a real shame. But the front shut lines here from the front wings to the front panel, no corrosion, because that's a real big catchment point. And the front valance is all very, very good. The only thing I think I wish I would have done maybe is move the bonnet straps to the front wing opposed to screwing those into the front panel. 4-blade radiator fan just there, as well as, if I haven't pointed that out. But pretty much, very much of a standard Mini, really. 1330 engine does do its little trick with the straight cut drop gears, etc. But I really do want to kind of vamp it up somewhat. I just love the stance. I love the look. I would like, again, tub those rear wheel arches, get the front ones, get the car a little bit lower. And I would like an NDAF in full roll cage setup in the car as well. I just think that's just totally trick. I do love the naked and the rawness of my Mini. I do like to drive it. I don't really like the... I'm very fortunate to work for Jaguar Land Rover and drive some very luxurious cars, you can see in the background. And like I say, they are very quiet and refined. And I like the rawness and the anger. That's the only little mark there on the A panel, which is a real shame. I think that was kicked at a show or trailer. I'm not really quite sure how that's got there, but something has nicked that in because the wheel arch isn't cracked. So I'm not quite sure how that's happened at some point. It may have been there for a long time and never pulled out. But it looks the business. It looks clean. It looks shiny. I do have a number plate to go onto the car, but I don't actually own it yet, albeit it's in my name. But that's quite a cool number plate. 998KR is the number plate. Again, though, carbon weasel front door cars. A lot of people ask how I've actually put those on, because I did. There are obviously no fixings. I used silicone sealant, put that onto the back of the door card and stuck them on, and I can use fishing wire to get those off. Full race wide rear view mirror. Got some padding there for my head, and obviously deleted the rear seats. Those 2 bolts in the middle hold the power steering pump on. And the seats are fixed in really well. And again, I've got the harnesses going through the boot with 2 sandwich plates, so they're nice and strong. Got the carbon, obviously, door panels on the rear, also quarter panels, should I say, on the rear. Black headlining. Again, would like that to be suede. I suppose would be quite cool. But I do love these composite seats, kind of carbon fibre / fiberglass. Padding isn't super comfortable, but does actually do the job for the amount of distance I drive it. But again, with that NDAF roll cage, I can actually offset that and actually get that seat that little bit further back, because I am about 6 foot in height. But I've put these additional plates in, and I've sandwiched those same plates, as you can see there, on the underside with threaded bolt, which is welded to it, so they are very quick and simple to remove, almost like a captive nut, and it sandwiches between the floor. So it does a really good job, and I feel nice and safe as part of the car. But if we climb in the back here, underneath the carpet, all original rear back heel board, should we say. If we can lift the carpet up here, we can actually have a look. Camera stopped working, so let's just have another go. This is now the car in the garage. That all original floor pans, so that is all original, nice and solid. Nice, it got some sound deadening in there, and this is inside the door pockets, all original. Actually, that's all the original paint as well. And again, I think we've got one repair on the front. Again, back in the day when you repaired this kind of stuff, there's a bit of a patch panel just there. Got some under sound deadening, which has been painted over at some point. So that's just the cracking of the sound deadening. And there is a seam at the front there. So I'm not quite sure, at some point, back even before we had the car, 30 odd years ago, somebody may have put a panel in, because bear in mind, you've got to remember these cars were selling for about £50 or they were being scrapped, so people did kind of just botch them together. There's my CAD quick shift, which I absolutely love. I love the feel of that. I really do. I love the ruggedness and the noise of it. And I've also got felt there, which obviously covered the top rail, or should I say middle rail panel. The top is all original. And again, it did have an alarm on the car back when they needed to. And that's what the LED in the middle of the dash is. But again, inside the A panel there and inside the doors, all very clean and shiny. No rust, no corrosion, all the way around. And again, this was painted even up in the top seams there 15 odd years ago. And there's that cool rear view mirror. DSN door handles. Yeah, so I'm absolutely digging it. And again, just to recap, passenger door is exactly the same. And I do love my Go Race quick release steering wheel. But again, it's all nice and sound. And this is just the inner seal here on the near side of the car. And if we can lift up this back floor pan or carpet here, that little bag just there is my ratchet to do my wheel nuts up. Again, all original flooring, back heel board, inner kind of boot storage, all nice and solid as well. I carry that round because of the single nut conversion. I need the big socket to be able to do those wheel nuts up if they come loose. But again, all original front passenger floor pan. That's just a wire there that feeds into the back. Nice and straightforward. Again, nice cool composite seat. Again, that Go Race steering wheel quick release is awesome. That actually does help me getting in and out massively. I can't tell you how much that does help. But yeah, my classic Mini. As they say, called Retro Mini 1330. So if you're on Instagram and you want to go across and follow it, then please go ahead and do so. I thought I'd do a quick walk around of my car. Hope you've enjoyed it. Many thanks ever so much indeed for watching. And until next time, I'll see you soon.